Hello, my fellow veterans, and welcome to Veterans Advice Hub. My name is Bill Kelly, and today I want to talk to you about the VA home loan benefit that we all earned through our service. I don't usually talk about VA home loans on the channel because I'm a mortgage loan originator actively in the VA space. I originate a lot of VA loans, and I just generally wanted to keep those two things separate. But today I'm making an exception because I'm running into a lot of anti-VA home loan bias in the marketplace. And this bias is based off of incorrect, old, out of date, inaccurate information. And really just, it honestly should not be a thing, but it is. Realtors are somehow telling sellers that VA offers are not as strong or too much of a hassle or don't close. And those three things are just not true. Let's talk about the average VA buyer. Are they qualified for the mortgage? Well, yes, they are. In 2021, the average VA buyer had a FICO score of 740, $27,000 in liquid assets, and $8,000 in gross monthly income, with a debt to income ratio of 39%. Regardless of the down payment or not. And remember, they earned the right to not have to put down a down payment. Those are borrowers I could qualify all day. Those are fantastically qualified borrowers. So VA borrowers are fully qualified. They go through underwriting. We evaluate their ability to repay, just like we do on a conventional mortgage. And these are fully qualified borrowers. And oh, by the way, do they close? The answer is absolutely. VA loans closed 4% more often than non-VA loans, including conventional. That was in 2020, which is the most recent year we have statistics for. So I guess the 2021 stats aren't out yet. But in 2020, so not too long ago, current time in today's market, in 2020, VA loans closed 4% more often than other loans. So they do close. The borrowers are fully qualified. It's not a testament to whether or not they have sweat in equity into the purchase because they have a down payment or not. They earn the right to not have a down payment. So what about the VA appraisal? There's this perception that VA appraisals are hard. This perception that VA appraisals always come in undervalued, both of which are not true. 2021, and this statistics comes from the Chief Appraiser directly from the VA Loan Guaranty office. 87% of all appraisals come in at or above the agreed contract price. 87%. So what about the other 13%? Well, I would suggest to you that in today's hot market, prices are inflated, and you're pricing above what the appraisers are saying the market actually is. But even if you wanted to do that, let's say you think the appraisal did come in low. If you're in a conventional deal and the appraisal comes in low and the borrower cannot make up the difference because they don't have the assets or whatever, they just can't do it or choose not to, that deal is dead. So that's a loan that's not going to close. Now let's talk about the same situation with a VA loan. Well, the VA appraisal comes in low. There's a provision built into the system called Tidewater. And what that is a reevaluation of the value that was assigned during that appraisal. How do you do that? Tidewater provision gives the buyer and the buyer's agent 48 hours, 2 days, to pull together and submit 3 comps that support the higher value. And the VA actually takes those 100% of the time. They will take that information, look at it, and many times they change the value. Sometimes they don't. It depends on how well it's documented. But I have had deals that were, if they were conventional, they would have fallen through, not closed. Hello, realtor means you would not have gotten paid for that deal. That did go through because we initiated the Tidewater provision. We demonstrated the value was actually higher, supported by comps in that market, and we were able to get the deal to closing. Oh, by the way, remember we closed that deal. So VA loans do close. The value is there. It's a fallacy to say VA loans are undervalued. And even on those rare occasions where you might think that they are, there is a provision, the Tidewater provision, to actually appeal that decision from the appraiser and get the VA to take a second look at it, which does not exist for a conventional loan. VA appraisals are hard. They look at all kinds of stuff. The VA appraisal is not an inspection. Just like a conventional appraisal, it's a visual observation of the property. They walk around, they look where they look, and they are looking basically just to see that the house is safe, sound, and sanitary. Those are the three big broad categories on a VA appraisal. They're doing the same thing for a conventional home, by the way. And if there are safety issues, if they're going to note that on the conventional appraisal, it's not like they don't put their head in the sand on these things. So the VA appraisal looks for safe, sound, and sanitary items. If there's something that needs to be fixed, guess what? The seller and the buyer can coordinate with each other and actually get them fixed. It doesn't mean that the deal's dead. The VA home loan is not for marginal homes. It's not to flip. It's certainly not for investment properties. It has to be a primary residence. But the goal isn't to get the veteran into a house that they're going to fix up themselves. Okay, it's not appropriate for that type of borrower to use the VA loan for that kind of house. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about marginal properties. I'm talking about well-founded, beautiful, ready-to-go homes that veterans are being told, no, we're not going to accept that VA offer because we're essentially afraid of the appraisal and we think it's really hard. Well, it's not really hard. They use the same form. It's the same appraisal. The VA has minimum property requirements. If you're showing houses that are basically in good shape, nobody cares if it's an avocado green kitchen with Formica tops, as long as everything works. What does that mean? Well, I'll give you an example. Here in New England, it's a requirement to have heat in every bedroom. It's 7 degrees outside today. Of course, you're going to want heat in every bedroom. Well, so that's one of the minimum property requirements. How is that something like that onerous? And if there are small things that need to be fixed, they can be addressed. So the VA home appraisal process is not this onerous, heavy burden that's going to kill every deal. If you're showing beautiful, basically ready-to-go houses, middle of the market and up, there's no reason to fear the VA appraisal. Another thing that comes up is that the VA makes sellers pay for closing costs. Excuse me. Not true. The seller does not have to pay for any closing costs of the buyer. You guys can negotiate whatever you want in the contract, but in terms of have to, that's not a thing anymore. The veteran, the VA buyer, can cover the closing costs. They can pay for the pest inspection. Of all things, that is got people wrapped around the axle. It's old information that the veteran cannot pay for the pest inspection. They can pay for the pest inspection. So the last thing I want to talk about is condo approval. People think VA condo approval is hard. Let me back up. VA condos, a condo a veteran is trying to purchase needs to be on a VA approved list, just like it would need to be on an FHA approved list. Getting a condo that is not on the list onto the list requires a little bit of additional paperwork to be collected. Not a lot and not really much to do other than collect the paperwork, put it together, and send it to the VA. The VA looks at it and sends it back, approved or not approved. But the vast majority are basically approved. I haven't had any that have not been approved. The last one of these I did was done in 10 days. So it's not this month-long, 6-month-long process. Oh my God, the deal's going to fail because the condo's not on the list. No, we know that the condo's not on the list as soon as we get the property address because we look it up and we start the process right then. As soon as the offer's accepted, we pull together the condo docs, send it off to the VA. They come back on the list. You're good to go. Again, not this onerous, hard, deal killing requirement. It's competent people doing competent work gets this stuff done fairly quickly and fairly easily. So I know I covered a lot of ground. If you have questions on the VA home loan, please put them in the comments below. If you like this video, I would request that you consider subscribing to the channel. It helps with visibility to help other veterans find these topics. And as always, thank you for your service. And don't let them talk you out of using your VA home loan. You earned it.